Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Super Bowl. I actually forget what number Super Bowl it is. I'm sure my co-hosts will tell me. My name's Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. And this right here that you're watching is Strictly Football here on the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, part of the New American Media. Myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, Ezra L. Robinson are going to break down the two conference championship games over the weekend. One had weather. Actually, they both had weather. And the weather plays a role in the trends, the sports betting trends. We're going to talk about that with Jim Mitchell. We're going to discuss how it feels for Jim and Mike to have their favorite teams represented in the Super Bowl again. They've had this happen multiple times in their lives, but I, a Cleveland Browns fan, have never even haven't even sniffed out a conference championship game, let alone a Super Bowl. And of course, poor Izzy, Cowboys haven't been good since 1995, was it? Last time they won a Super Bowl. So we're going to break down all of these things and more on the show, as well as some of the coaching carousel moves. Of course, in the past week, things have changed between episode 27 and 28 here on Strictly Football. So we're going to talk about all the things. So buckle up. Football time begins now.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Joining me somewhere outside of the city that never sleeps. Well, we'll call it that. I mean, that is the New York thing, but shouldn't that really apply to Vegas, Mike?
Yeah, it probably should, but Vegas is not what it used to be 10, 15 years ago. And
how is it different?
It's a little dead around here at between 2 and 4 and 6 a.m. anymore, but it is still Sin City, so we're good.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was in Vegas. It has been a while. Jim, you're also in Vegas. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Brian.
Nice coffee cup. Very nice. All this awesome Seattle gear. Bravo, bravo. Congratulations, fellas.
It's the retro bird.
It's cool. Did you, and we want to get into the stuff we know about the bird. I don't know, was that in our group thread? We discussed how you picked your logo, and it's not the Seahawk that you thought.
Well, it wasn't a logo. It was the team name. It's actually what they described as a Seahawk is actually a fish hawk that swoops down and grabs fish with its talons out of the ocean. A Seahawk raids the nests of other birds and then fake vomits when the birds return, so hoping the other birds will take pity on it for trying to steal their eggs. So
I believe the logo was taken from the old totem poles.
Yeah, it's a totem pole type thing. Yeah, I've never liked it much, but the new one is better than the old one, which was kind of.
Oh no, they're both great logos.
Yeah, well, this is fine. I just don't like how the stripe goes all the way around behind the helmet. But anyway, maybe that's a discussion we should have. Well, which uniform should they wear? Because we're not going to probably find out until next week because they have lots of choices.
Is that league mandated, or is that a choice?
The home team, and on even years, the AFC team is the home team. They get to pick their colors, and then the other team has to wear the opposite colors or the colors of their choice. So I haven't seen yet that they have.
Maybe we should have just designed an innocuous star and plastered it on the side of our hat.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of the innocuous star, Ezra Pickens, did you see that Jackson Smith and Jigba took the Cowboys to the Super Bowl? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He's got a big Dallas Cowboys star like on a bicep.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Cowboys will be represented in the Super Bowl this year. Izzy, welcome to the program, sir. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah, the Cowboys. He's got that. It's a Dallas Cowboys star.
Yeah,
Tattoo.
he grew up in Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's crazy. And just another incredible Ohio State wide receiver. So, yeah, unfortunately, your Cowboys haven't been good since Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. You've had some good teams, but you haven't been able to get back to the Super Bowl like you did. But, gentlemen, let's get into it, shall we? I guess let's start with your favorite team, I suppose. What a game. You know, I'm going to jump way past all the stuff I need to start with just to say I'm almost concerned about Seattle being in a trap game. Could you imagine calling the Super Bowl a trap game? It's the most ridiculous concept ever, but it just feels like the Super Bowl was already played between the Rams and the Seahawks. Those are the two best teams. And now, how do you get yourself psyched up to play a team not quite as good as the Rams? So let me just kind of toss it to you guys to start. Mike, we'll begin with you.
Well, I mean, because you're playing for a ring, right? I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does. I think the teams will be both will be very highly motivated. They have 2 weeks to think about it. They have 2 weeks to do film study. This is not like the 2013 team. The 2013 team, you know, I was saying it back then, and Broncos fans were mocking me, but the 2013 team took one look at the film and they said, we're going to slaughter these guys. They came in totally confident, arrogant even. I don't think Mike Macdonald's he's a different coach than Pete Carroll. I don't think he's going to let that happen. I think he's going to keep the team very businesslike and very focused next week when they start practicing. So I don't think there's much chance of that. If the Seahawks lose, it won't be because they didn't take the Patriots seriously. I mean, Patriots are what? 16-3? Aren't both teams 16-3 coming into this? It's something like that. And, that's like the two best records you've ever had in a Super Bowl. It's like Ollie versus Frazier when they were both undefeated coming into the first fight. So, yeah, I don't see that happening.
Jim, why don't you kind of give us the reset here? You don't think it's going to be a trap game at all, but
yeah, not to jump the gun. The Patriots going into this game straight up are 16-1 going into this game, and the Seahawks are 14-1 straight up on the road, which is probably a more exact stat than just a home and road situation.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, as far as the game coming up, the Seahawks are favored. The number I texted Mike right when the game was over, and I thought the game was going to open at 6.5, but the game opened at Seahawks -4.5. So I was a full 2 points. And if I, by that way of thinking, if you think that number is going to be bigger and it comes out at 4.5, you probably need to jump on it right then and there, because I think this number is going to go up, and it's still 4.5 today. So I think people are kind of waiting in the bushes, waiting for the numbers to move. But I think there's only one way for this number to go right now, and it's probably going to go up.
Izzy, let me jump to you real quick. What do you think of this matchup? And of course we're going to reset to the games and what we learned, the key plays, the key moments and takeaways. But the initial lines coming out is what you thinking?
Yeah, for the past 2 weeks, I think I've been saying that whoever wins the NFC Championship is going to win the Super Bowl. Just mainly because, of course, the Patriots they have a great record. They won games. But it's just the quarterback play that Drake May and the team has gone against throughout the year. I think like 7 or 8 games this year they played against the team's backup. And then when they play against the starters, they went up against 2 times the Jets, the Vegas Raiders, the New Orleans Saints, the Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh, and just the rest of the teams were backup. So I'm not discrediting them at all for what they've done. I mean, of course they're in the Super Bowl, but even in the AFC Championship, they went up against the backup for the Broncos as well. And that game could have gone either way if the kickers could kick in that kind of weather. But generally speaking, the Seahawks, they played against The NFC West, they had three teams over 10 wins. The Seahawks played two of those teams 4 times and then extra time in the NFC Championship. So it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like what's a good thing? It's like Floyd Mayweather fighting Pacquiao 3 times, and then after that, he's getting ready to fight a lower ranked opponent than Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And it's like he's already tuned up for the fight. This team, they know what they need to do. They win against higher competition opponents, and I really don't see no way of them losing the game. And yeah, I really don't see any way of them losing the game unless something happens to the quarterback or the quarterback just doesn't play good. Besides that, I mean, I got them winning undoubtedly. So.
And that's where it just gets so dangerous, Mike. It's just there's sort of a consensus. The Seahawks got this. They're the better team, better conference, play better. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that yet, but I haven't watched the Patriots that closely. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of their games.
They're fundamental.
On paper, they're the better team, and they've played the better competition, and they've beaten the better competition. So, yeah. But let's talk about the games this weekend.
Yep.
Let's just talk about the games. Let's go to the Broncos game first.
Oh, you want to do the Broncos first? All right, we will do I had this one queued up, but we can switch. No biggie to me.
You can handle it.
Instead, I mean, this was like a soccer score, 10-7. Patriots barely get the win, Mike.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about it is, like I said last time we were in the Super Bowl, I was looking at the Patriots, and before that the Broncos, and trying to figure out how does the Legion of Boom match up against those teams. And that was, you could look at the championship game and I could tell how those games were going to go, I felt like. But this one you didn't learn a thing from, I don't think, because you had Jarrett Stidham as the backup quarterback. He's terrible. Sean Payton, I don't like Sean Payton very much. I don't like the way he treated my guy Russ. The irony of this is that if Russell Wilson had been the backup and became the starter in this game, they would have won this game. They would have won it.
Wow, that is...
He's
Mike,
so
that
much
is
better
such
than
a
Jarrett.
great
Even broken down 36-year-old Russell Wilson is an order of magnitude better than Jarrett Stidham. And that I mean, if I was Russ, I'd be texting that to Sean Payton right now. If you'd had me, I would have won that game for you today. That's what I'd be doing, but Russ is not like that.
And by the way, Mike, I think that could be a good... if we can remember to jump back to it, Baker Mayfield sent a text out about Kevin Stefanski, never reaching out to him and said, "Oh, Baker's petty." It's like, no, Stefanski, you blew things up with your quarterback. Yeah. That's on you. That is a huge, massive failure on you as the leader.
I got us into the Russ Baker thing again. I didn't mean to, but I did.
No, it's okay though, because
it is hilarious. It's hilarious that a guy I don't like at all, Sean Payton, for the way he acted, the way he behaved, the things he's done, blew this game, not only on that decision, but then he's down there on 4th and 4 from about the 6-yard line, and when there's no snow, and he doesn't kick the field goal. And guess what? You lost by a field goal. You kick that field goal, that game's tied, and who knows what happens in overtime. So they blew a chance to go to the Super Bowl, primarily because of Sean Payton. And the ironic thing, too, is that you know who the Broncos' highest paid player was this year? It's still Russell Wilson. So that's hilarious on multiple levels. Having said that, I can't determine anything about the Patriots from this game, because once it starts snowing like that, the guys were slipping and sliding all over. Yeah. They have a good running game. They have our friend Ramondre. They have Travion Henderson. They have a good running game. That's about all you can figure out. But once it snows like that, I mean, everything equalizes, right? It's like the Battle of the Mutara Nebula from Star Trek II, right? Kirk versus Khan. Inside the nebula, it doesn't matter who's got the better starship, right? Because the odds are even. None of the sensors work. None of the phasers don't work. I mean, it was hilarious to think about it like that. But that's the truth of it.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Serious nerd alert. So... it
is a great equalizer.
I love snow games, and I think anybody arguing that these games should not be played in the elements at home is just fuck you. And that's football. That's the way football is. Right?
Jim, you study these betting trends all the time, and weather plays a key role. just talk about the weather and some of the key plays for you in this Patriots Broncos game. Like, did you see it kind of happening the way it did? We obviously had the snowpocalypse coming across the country, and man, it didn't really disappoint. That weather was legit. It made a difference.
Well, there was talk on the sports channels yesterday that Sean Payton had to have his ear to the track as far as what the weather was going to be like at halftime, and the snow really started coming down at halftime. I mean, it was 22 degrees and snowing. As far as the line goes, the line opened at Patriots were favored by 5.5, and it was bet down to 3.5. Like we talked about before, the Patriots were 15-1 straight up going into this game, and 13-3 against the spread. They were 8-0 straight up and 7-1 against the spread on the road. Drake May was a respectable 10-4 against the spread on the road, and favorites of 4 points or more were 102, 38-1 going into this game. The Broncos, conversely, were 14-1 straight up at home. Again, they had no Bo Nix, but Sean Payton was a respectable 14-7 straight up, starting a backup quarterback in a playoff game, which is not just a playoff game, just a regular game. He was 14-7 straight up, but quarterbacks playing in the playoffs for the first time, which we believe Stidham was in this position, were only 21-38-1 straight up.
They were playing in the what the first time?
What's
You
that?
said
What?
Go ahead, Jim.
Playoffs?
they were in the
Talk about playoffs?
the first
you
time?
kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah.
I just hope we can win a game.
I so we can win an AFC championship.
Yeah, the over under in this game was outrageous as far as how the game landed. It was the over under opened at 41.5, and it was people were betting the over in this game. It went up to
41.5 over.
over under. Yeah,
And they put
it
up
was bet up to
17.
42.5. So people believed that this game was going to be a high scoring game, but
They didn't expect it to snow. Because I wasn't watching. Was it supposed to snow? I didn't know if it was supposed to snow or not.
well, what's that old saying in Denver? If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes and it's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what happened. But what I took away from this game, I mean, the second quarter there was, and this has just been beat to death yesterday on sports networks. Second quarter, 9 minutes to go. It's 4th and 1, and the score is 0-7 Broncos. The Patriots have yet to score yet. So the Broncos, Sean Payton decides to go for it. Like what Mike said, and they were on the 16-yard line of the Patriots when they decided to go for the first down instead of kicking the field goal. If they kick the field goal, they go up 7-10 at the half. They go into the locker room, they're going to be ahead at the half.
Yeah.
So second quarter, there was 2:50 to go in the game, and another thing that I noticed about the game, it was a clear fumble by Stidham at the 2:50 mark, and the officials reversed the call and said it was intentional grounding.
No.
That was it was worse than the Brady Tuck rule.
Yeah,
against the Raiders.
The rule is the ball needs to be coming forward in the grip, in the hand of the quarterback, right? And it was not. I mean, his arm went forward a little bit, and the ball went forward, but he did not have control of it because they'd already hit his arm. That call was absolute bullshit. And
yeah, it was terrible.
The Patriots, did they not score a touchdown on that drive anyway? Did they score? I forget. So it ended up not making a difference, but it was a terrible call, Jim.
Yeah, well, they went in the locker room. It was 7-10. If the Broncos had kicked the field goal going in the locker room, the score would have been 7-10 Broncos.
Yeah.
So they would have been up by 3. And if you do the Chinese arithmetic, I mean, at worst, the game would have ended 13-13. They would have gone into OT.
Yeah.
So
Well, and there were kicks that were missed wide right. There were kicks that were tipped in
Yeah.
the box.
Sean Payton's got priors for doing crap like this. I mean, he got lucky in the Super Bowl when they won the Super Bowl with Drew Brees. Remember what he did when they came out of the locker room at the half?
Yeah, onside kick.
Onside kick, and it worked.
To open the half, yeah.
It
Big
worked.
gambler, and he was lucky that Peyton Manning threw the game-losing interception right to his guy, you know. But I mean, it just
Yeah,
it's
that
like
was Manning's first Super Bowl, and Manning lost his first Super Bowl and then won his second Super Bowl.
no, it was the other way around. He won it.
Yeah, he won the one in Miami when
06, yeah, in the rain, yeah.
when it was raining.
Well, I would say that onside kick, you play to win the game.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
but I mean,
a gutsy call.
Thanks, Herb.
you know, here's the thing: is that they have to know the snow is coming. I mean, they have the local weather reports, right? And you know, I was sitting there with my brother Izzy. You know, I don't know. I was sitting there, and he goes, "In a championship game, man, you do not leave any points on the field. You just take the field goal if it's there, because it was easily makeable and it wasn't snowing yet. And everybody, what were there, 2 or 3 missed field goals in the snow?"
3.
After that, and it's 10-10 at the end of the game. You're going to overtime, and who knows what happens, right?
And another thing, after that bad decision, the Broncos only had 3 first downs the rest of the game. 3 first downs for the rest of the game after that decision was made.
Wow.
They had a total of 54 yards on offense after that.
Oh, it's nuts. By the way, Kenneth here says, "Happy post-birthday, Mike."
Thank
Happy
you,
birthday
man.
to you and your brother. Yeah, Kenneth, one of our regulars. He was joining us in the TNAM Daily Show. That's every Monday through Friday at noon. Join us for that. You know, something else that I felt was criminal, Izzy. They only gave 3 carries to Travion Henderson. 3 carries for 5 yards. I just
Always the Ohio State guys with you, Brian. Always.
man, I because I watched him help us win a championship.
But
and that
look
guy-
at Ramondre. Ramondre was great, and Drake May had 65 yards rushing, you know, and scrambles.
Yeah, that's 65 yards on the ground is crazy. By the way, Andy Borregales, he was 1 of 3 kicking the field goals, and Will Lutz was 0 for 2. So that's 4 total missed field goals in this game, on top of the one that didn't get there. Izzy, you've been sitting on the sidelines here for a minute. What's your take on this game, just generally and specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard-fought game. I watched pretty much the whole thing. I think one of the kickers, I think both of them at least missed one before it started snowing, and I mean, it's just detrimental because you know there's some kickers in the league that'll make that no matter what the elements are, and yeah, I mean, if they knew it was snowing, of course they should have because it's an NFL team, but they should have prepared by, hey, this is the situation that we're going to be in. But either way, I think 3 or 2 of the missed field goals were 30 yards. Like one was 33 yards, the other one was like 37. So it really wasn't even that far. So that plays a huge factor. But besides that, I mean, it was a good game. Denver, they could have done more, of course, but they got a backup quarterback. But Jared Stidham didn't even play bad. He had more passing yards than Drake May. He had a touchdown that Drake May didn't have. Drake May had a rushing touchdown right after that little fumble thing or whatever happened. And then interception. Both Jared Stidham had an interception. Drake May didn't. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. But, yeah, to add on to Brian, why didn't Travion Henderson he didn't get enough rushes? I mean, they still won the game. So does it matter at the end of the day?
No.
Exactly. So
I mean, they escaped. They survived. They escaped. That's all it takes in these games. It comes down to razor thin margins.
yeah, maybe that's yeah.
Ramondre didn't have a great game. I mean, he only had 71 yards and he only averaged
2.8
a carry. You know, but you know they won the game, and you know Regina talked to Duran, Ramondre's mom, yesterday. Oh, hold on a second. I just dropped a name here. I had to pick it up.
Dropping a name.
But you know, Duran's just elated. I mean, you know, Ramondre, her son, is you know going to the Super Bowl, and of course she's going to be there in Santa Clara. The sad thing is Ramondre's dad, Robert. I mean, he passed away in March.
Oh, that's
It
really?
was just sad that Robert couldn't see that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's,
Duran said that her phone was just blowing up on Sunday.
You got any tickets? I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'll give him a call. I'm sure he'll answer me.
Let me toss this to you, Mike. Just obviously, we were talking if they would have still had Russell. I always want to say Russell Westbrook, but it's Russell Wilson.
He's a basketball player.
If Bo Nix were healthy, do you think this game comes out differently? Obviously the what if game sucks because it didn't happen, but what do you think?
Well, it almost has to, because it's a different kind of game, because with probably a lot more passing, because you can trust, your quarterback to do a little bit more, and you can run plays for him, and Bo Nix is pretty mobile, like Drake May. So, yeah, I think it's probably a different outcome, even with the snow, if they have their top quarterback.
Yeah.
Because all you needed was 3 points, and I think Bo Nix is worth 3 points, or 4 points is all you needed. So, and this goes back to, remember, we played Dennis Green last week, I think, on the show, the famous, we thought we are rant. And he also said one other thing. I heard him on ESPN once, right after he got fired by the Vikings, before he was the coach of the Cardinals, and he said, when you take over a team, there's 2 things you got to get right away. The first 2 things, you got to get your quarterback, and you got to get your kicker. And if you don't have that, because the quarterback and the kicker will lose you more football games than any other players. So you got to know. And, Dennis, when he took over Arizona, he didn't do that. He got Larry Fitzgerald instead of Phillip Rivers or Ben Roethlisberger, or even trading for Drew Brees. So he broke his own rule. But I think I've always remembered that. And the truth is, these 2 teams, they didn't really have their kicker. Their kickers weren't good. And in spite of the conditions, what is that, 0 for 5 or 1 for 5 on field goal attempts? That's gonna bite you in the ass. So it was really interesting to me from that perspective, how critical special teams are to winning big football games. And in this case, Patriots came out just a little ahead. Because was it their guy who was the guy who actually made his field goal? They both made field goals, but yeah, okay. No.
Kicking. Will Lutz was 0 for 2. He made 1 extra point. Andy Borregales 1 for 3 with a long of 20.
So Will Lutz is not the answer for the Broncos, and that ended up costing them this game. Now, maybe not a game, but this game. They came into this game without their quarterback and with a subpar kicker, and they lost by 3 points, a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Adam Vinatieri was at the game, but he didn't suit up.
Unfortunately.
Vinatieri?
Yeah, he presented the trophy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well,
just one other thing, Brian. An interesting thing. Drake May, second youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl.
Youngest being
Dan Marino.
Oh,
I
don't.
23 years old, his second year.
I forgot Marino even went to a Super Bowl.
The game against Santa Clara.
84?
1984, yeah.
84.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say that I don't know what Mike was saying. If they have Bo Nix, of course the passing game will be a lot better, but Bo Nix has a very high upside in rushing. I mean, he can rush the ball a lot. I mean, he does that a lot in general during the game, so maybe they get extra few first downs. I mean, what you said after the second half, they only got 3 first downs or something like that.
Yeah.
So they of course they drive the ball a lot more. So the outcome might become different, but I don't think it's a huge point margin difference. But I mean, I forgot what I was going to say after that. But yeah, Bo Nix, the game would have been different. I don't know if they would have won or lost, but most definitely different. And then also, didn't Tom Brady his sophomore year go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was a backup. Yeah, okay.
Tom Brady went in his second year. Russell Wilson went in his second year. Ben Roethlisberger went in his second year. Somebody else. I think there's one other guy. Well, you gave us Jim.
Dan Marino.
Yeah, Marino was the youngest.
But
They were probably all around 23, but
Yeah.
I wanted to add one point. What is that clicking in? I'm hearing double clicking. I'm hearing.
I think
the click of a pen,
Israel is typing. That's all it is.
And then okay. Let's see. I wanted to point one thing out. We were talking about how Ramondre, only 2.8 yards a game gain. Excuse me, 2.8 yards average
carry,
on 25 carries. Yeah, per carry, 71 yards in the game. But I've often listened to Leroy Horde, a blast from the past running back for the Cleveland Browns, and he's often on a couple sports shows, and he says all the time, it's not even so important how many yards you rush for. What's important is the number of rushes that you have, just because you just pound the other team. At some point, you beat them into submission. You chew up the clock. You keep their offense on the field. So it's not even about did you put up 160 yards and 6 yards per carry? Did you just control the entire game?
Yes, see,
and I think
Kenneth
some of that
Walker.
came through in this one.
Yeah.
So, word on the street is that the Patriots are going to pick their all-white uniform combination, which they are undefeated in this year, for the Super Bowl. So that's the rumored combination. So
all white. So then
Pretty
let's play the
strong.
game. What jersey would you want? These Seattle teams, whether it's Pacific Northwest, you guys love your alternate uniforms up there in the Pacific Northwest, whether it's Nike in Oregon or the Seahawks, alternate jerseys. Which jersey, Mike? Which one would you jersey, Mike?
I fucking hate the throwbacks, so please
Really?
don't wear those. I like the blue shirt, blue pants, the combination they wore at home. I think that's the best looking one. It's time for new uniforms. We have a new regime in town. Those are the Pete Carroll era uniforms. I hate the grays. I hate the white. And you can't be tough wearing white pants. You just can't. So
If you hate the grays,
what is it, Saturday Night Fever? Am I John Travolta? No, you can't wear white pants. So I like the blue on blue combo, which if the Patriots go white would be good. I love the action green, the fluorescent green. Fine with those. And I actually really liked the alternate uniforms, except for the weird Oregon duck feathers part. But I was kind of hoping that the Patriots would pick their alternates, which are kind of a gray color. I'll try to find a picture of those. And we could go with an alternate Super Bowl. But, I suspect we're just going to go blue on blue and play it that way.
Mike, if you hate the grays, do you like the Pleiadians a little better? Or?
Yeah, the Pleiadians are definitely better than the Grays. Grays are little fucks. They stick stuff up your butt.
That's what we've heard. Yeah, follow Mike. Mike, tell him about your show that you do where you cover these things.
No, we're not talking aliens. This is strictly football. It's called Strictly Football.
No, I'm promoting your other show, Toxically Masculine Tuesday, and of course your daily show.
So far, we've worked Star Trek into this. We've worked the Palladians into this. You're on the stopwatch, Brian. How far before we start talking about the Browns?
You see Jose Ramirez re-signed for 7 years? Baseball.
Could the Browns have made the Super Bowl if Bo Nix hadn't broke his ankle?
There you go. We can do that. Jim, pick your jersey. Which one would you like to see? If it's
Anything but the green highlighter jerseys.
The highlighters.
I turn my TV down to monochrome black and white when they start playing in those jerseys.
It's eye vomit. Is
their ass.
Seahawks jersey that you like? Is there one you'd like to see?
I kind of like the rival jerseys, but yeah, the all blue should be fine.
All blues are good.
Yeah.
Do we have an idea of what Bad Bunny dress we're hoping he's going to come out in?
No.
Okay, moving on. Keep it moving.
Well, I was just showing you the Patriots rivalry uniforms.
Yeah, I like the Patriots rivalry ones a lot.
I would be cool. I thought I shared the screen. Did I not?
Well, you did, but I can't share it because if I do,
just real
flag
quick.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's real small. Okay, so that's the rivalry.
that's the gray with the I think if they pick those, I'd be cool if the Seahawks pick their rivalry uniforms too. So
Okay. Well, we will see how that shakes out. Okay, well then, gentlemen, that's the first game of the two. Any other final thoughts? Any other random odds and ends for the AFC title game that we left on the table? Not so much. Okay, then let's bounce over to your favorite game of the weekend. Congratulations, fellas. I am so happy for you. My life sucks as a Browns fan. Izzy, you're too young to realize what pain really is. You're on a bit of a drought, but you haven't even gotten started yet. So, hold your breath. But congratulations, guys. I'm really happy for you. I only really gave a shit because You guys would be happy about this, and I was pulling for you. Seattle gets the win 31-27. The Rams had the ball, Mike, at the end of the game, and they were what? Could Puka Nacua get out of bounds with 1 second left and then a Hail Mary? You've seen crazier shit happen. It didn't. You get the win. Walk us through wherever you want to pick it up. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I mean, these two teams are dead even after 3 games. The Seahawks got the win in 2 of them. An interesting side fact about Mike Macdonald, the Seahawks coach. He's coached 4 playoff games, 2 as a defensive coordinator and play caller with the Ravens, and 2 as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
What kind of game? You said he coached 2
What's that?
of
4 playoff games in his career.
Playoffs?
Oh.
Talk about playoffs?
Four.
You
2.
kidding me? Playoffs?
He did.
I just hope we can win a game.
I hope he can too. Go ahead, Mike.
Nobody has scored a point on a Mike Macdonald defense in a playoff game in the 4th quarter yet. Nobody. So when they held up in the 4th quarter, it fits with the way he coaches. It's as if he gets smarter and smarter as the game goes on, knowing what the other team's going to do. The Rams had a shot if they on that last drive where they went for it on 4th down, 4th and goal, with about 4 minutes to play. If they'd taken the field goal, then all they needed was a field goal to win the game. If they'd stopped the Seahawks. Conversely, the Seahawks probably would have gone for it on 4th and 1 when they had to punt, or 4th and 5, and who knows? Well, they might have punted it, but they would have punted it deep down. So the Rams would have had a lot of time left. Look, the Seahawks' running game was very efficient. They didn't gain a lot of yards, but they did what they had to. They made plays. They got first downs with the running game. The defense, they gave up a lot of yards and some points to the Rams, some big plays, but it was really interesting as I watched that. Again, the Seahawks were not aggressive. The Bears were far more aggressive at sending 5 and 6 guys at Stafford last week, and they held them to 20 points. I thought we should have done that. We didn't do it. We watched the game last night. I can only think of one time I can remember us sending even a 5th guy. So we just rushed with 4 guys. And Stafford is that good. He's going to carve you up if you don't make him uncomfortable. And so I didn't think we had the right strategy. But the strategy was, I guess, to outlast them, to score more points and just hope that they ran out of gas, so they had to make too many plays. But, Stafford is a terrific quarterback, played great. It's really interesting to watch the difference between Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith-Njigba, because what Njigba does is he gets away purely on moves. He gets up, he gets a guy leaning this way or that way, and he cuts the other way. He gets open with his speed, his separation, his quickness out of cuts. Nacua is, as you watch it, he's very subtle, but he's very good at this. He doesn't get a lot of separation, but what he does is he pushes guys off with his arms, but he does it at the hip, not up high where it looks like offensive pass interference, but he's super good at just nudging a guy just a little bit to get that space he needs to catch the ball, and he almost never drops it. So, that was an interesting thing to observe. We got lucky on some calls, but I thought the officiating basically was perfect.
And you were concerned about that coming in, 0-7.
I was, and it was very fair, and I didn't have a complaint about a single call. I didn't like them giving 30 seconds back to the Rams there at the end of the game when the Seahawks get the ball back with about 2.5 minutes to play. No, it went back to 3 minutes on the when they called Nacua out of bounds versus inbounds. But when you look at the replay, I think he was out of bounds, so it's probably the right call, right? But to have it again, one of the things that it really comes down to is that their guy muffed a punt and right into our hands, and we got a touchdown on the next play. So, they handed us the game because their special teams are not as good. So you got these two teams that are basically very equal. The only difference really is the special teams. They didn't kick the ball to Rashid Shaheed pretty much all day. They just tried to avoid kicking it to him.
Smart.
2 heavyweights throwing bombs at each other like Holyfield and Bo, or Ollie and Frazier, 2 terrific teams, 2 very well coached teams, and we were lucky enough to come out. Not lucky, but we came out ahead, and that's all that matters. So I just really was impressed by both football teams. It drove me nuts, but it's a play here and a play there, and God, Tariq Woolen, man, I hope you're as good as you are. I hope somebody else overpays you next year, because that's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen on a football field.
We'll get to that in a second. Number one, you're speaking his language with all the boxing references.
The Cowboys could use Tariq Woolen badly.
All right, we'll get to that.
I'd love to have him.
Hang tight. Before we do, and we'll throw it to Jim first, then Izzy. Kenneth wants to know, Mike, is that Hecklefish doing a bong behind you?
That's my Chernobyl reactor. That's my Chernobyl reactor.
Here, let me full screen this so you can show us. We were talking about it in pregame.
You can't see it. So.
Here, I'll spin it to the side. So that's your Chernobyl reactor. What is it? It's a humidifier?
It's a humidifier, which you need in Vegas because it gets so dry here, and it's pumping out the steam from the melted down reactor core. It's got everything. It's got the little graphite pieces of graphite from the graphite reactor container, and it's cool, very cool. And the reactor keeps changing colors.
That's awesome. Well, Kenneth picked up on it, so it is a nice addition behind you in the studio. Jim, let's talk about the game. What caught your eye? Obviously, from the betting trends and statistics point, but also just from the super fan point. There's so many places to start with this.
Yeah, the game opened at Seahawks 2.5. They won the game by 4 points. First quarter, I texted Mike during the first quarter. I said the Rams just looked gassed. I mean, they had a pretty slow start to the game, and that was probably attributed to the overtime game that they had played 5-6 days prior. We were also talking about the weather going into this game because Stafford was 2-8 straight up when the temperature was under 40 degrees, and we were keeping our fingers crossed that maybe kickoff would be 39 degrees, but it was 44 degrees in the first quarter. But when they came out second half, the temperature had dropped to 37, 38 degrees. So that was kind of favorable. As far as taking the Seahawks, if you were going to bet the game, thing I took away from the game, I mean, Najigba had that great catch on the 8-yard line in the first quarter with 3 minutes to go. I mean, it was a one-handed catch. I mean, it's like he had, he had suction cups on his glove. I mean, it just stuck, and he pulled it in. It was just a great catch. And then with 20 seconds to go in the half, Najigba was in the end zone, and there were two defenders on him, and they weren't 10 yards near him. And it was just an easy touchdown for him. 12:07 to go in the third quarter. Number 19, Smith for the Rams. They're calling it a muffed catch, receiving the punt. But if you in real time, you can see that he loses his footing on that turf, and his left foot actually buckles underneath him, and he loses his balance.
Yeah.
Backing up, tracking the ball. I mean, he's tracking the ball in, looking up, and then he loses balance and falls on his butt. And unfortunately for the Rams, the ball touches him, and Seattle recovers, and immediately on the very next play, I think it was Bobo.
That's really interesting. There were 3 or 4 slips by the Seahawks in that game.
Yeah.
They slipped and fell. They got a little bump and their feet just went out from under him. So that was kind of uncharacteristic. And the Rams put the ball on the ground 3 or 4 times. Again, I think 4 times, and only lost the one. But it ended up being a difference in the game. They've had a lot of good luck with the ball bouncing their way this year. The Rams have.
Yeah, in the third quarter, there was 3 minutes to go in the quarter, and you guys talked about Wolin. Unsportsmanlike conduct. He runs over and starts taunting the Rams bench. I mean, what a jackass!
Yeah.
I mean, he if McDonald's got any stones, I would just sit him. He would not. I'd pull a Belichick, like Belichick sat down Butler in that Super Bowl. I would sit him down and good riddance. You're going to Irving, Texas. Dallas can have him. He gets a and then one of the very next plays, he gets a pass thrown over his head to Nakua, and he doesn't even defend it. He's got his back to the ball.
He also
Nakua catches
you
an
know,
easy touchdown.
Nakua bumped him and he lost his footing a little bit again. So yeah.
Yeah, just a double ass move. Sit your butt down. But
No way.
Mike, just another thing. We were talking about the futures bets.
Yeah.
Both the Seahawks and the Rams before the season started,
Yeah.
60-1 to win the Super Bowl.
Well,
60-1.
don't tell me that because I had the $100 in my pocket and decided there's no way they're going to win the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to just throw $100 away. God, I wish I had because I got a real shot at this. But the thing about the Woolen thing is that he did it and he kept doing it, and the ref talked to him. He said he was telling him, knock it off, and he kept at it and he kept at it, and then he stepped on their sideline. And I mean, that's going out of your way to get a penalty. Now, there's no way he's going to get benched for the Super Bowl, but I think it does raise questions about whether they're going to spend the money to re-sign him. In the off season, they do have cap room; they can create cap room, but it just, it cost your team a touchdown. There were 2 times in this game at least, Seahawks had a chance to put some distance between them and the Rams, and instead they gave the touchdowns back almost immediately. So, the Rams are a tough out, as they say in baseball. They're just hard to beat.
All right, Izzy, I think you were chomping at the bit, wanting to get in on that stupid play that almost flipped this game. But take it wherever you want, man. There's so much going on. A 4-point game. It was very close.
Yeah, as you can see from the first drives from both teams, that it was going to be a great game. With Jackson Smith and it was Rashid Shaheed who caught a 51-yard pass.
Yeah.
In the first drive, and then the drive after that, Puka Nacua caught like a 44-yard pass, and it just set the tone for the game. So you kind of knew what was going to happen. But yeah, I do agree. The Rams, they did seem kind of gassed out in the first quarter. The Seahawks, it seems like they had their way with them in the first quarter as far as driving the ball down the field, especially Kenneth Walker. He got a lot of carries too in the first, but. Yeah, generally, Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith and Jigba, the future, the head-to-heads, they're receivers, but the future, 165 from one, 153 from the other, it shows. And there's a stat, Puka Nacua is the second receiver in the history of football to have 2,000 receiving yards, including the playoffs.
Oh.
The other receiver is Cooper Kupp. He had 2,400. Puka Nacua just got 2,000, and Jackson Smith Njigba's like 70 yards away from 2,000.
Wow.
So
you can almost
crazy seasons. And Puka, he missed 4 games as well. So that goes to show how versatile he is. But yeah, as far as the game, the officiating was cool. I have a question, Mike. Do you think that what was your thoughts on that Cooper Kupp catch in the fourth quarter? Fumble, catch, no catch, was a first down.
Initially, I didn't think it was a catch, and I thought it was going to be overturned. But here's the thing that apparently makes the difference, and this is why apparently it's the correct call, is he catches the ball, he has possession clearly in control, he takes a couple of steps, and then makes a football move. So at that point, when he's down, when he's touched, he's down. It's not like the situation with the Bills and the Broncos a week ago. It's not the same situation. So apparently it was the correct call, but it sure looked to me, that it's going to be incomplete. But they gave him credit for catching, controlling, taking 2 steps, and then making a football move. And at that point, when he's touched down, apparently he's down. So that was the margin in this game between these two teams. It was that much. And thanks for the call. But initially I thought it's incomplete. They're going to call it incomplete, but they didn't. And then their justification for it, the way I read the rule, the way I understand the rule, apparently they were correct. So
yeah, and they were saying that because right after Sean McVay, I have no idea what he was doing with the timeouts, but I mean he was gambling with 3 minutes left. But right after that, he was questioning about challenging it. But supposedly, if you challenge a call and it's unsuccessful, the clock keeps running right after, so the time wouldn't have stopped.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's not a lot he could do. I mean, the guys upstairs told him what the outcome was probably going to be. So I don't know if he challenges it if it goes back a little way, but that's whatever. But I did not see the muff punts. I went to go pick up some pizza. I was at my friend's house, but we came back. Then we saw the Tariq Woolen. What happened with Tariq Woolen? But yeah, I completely agree. I mean, we were watching, and it's like he's just at the sideline, and it's like he just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. I'm like, yeah, I mean that's unsportsmanlike conduct, but you just can't do that. What was it going to be 4th and 27, and then you give him a first down, and it's like that changes the game. And then right after Puka Nakua go route, little hezzy step on the outside, right on Tariq Woolen again, and he catches it for a touchdown. It's like, what are you? I mean, me personally, if I was a head coach, I'd be a lot heated with my players. Yeah, I don't think he's come back in that game. Of course, he did make a difference, but he's
Well,
just not coming back in there.
he made plays later. He made a couple of plays later.
He was the one who tackled Puka Nakua on that final play for the out of bounds.
Exactly, and the same thing with Devon Witherspoon. He got torched a couple of times early in the game, but he made some big pass breakups on that fourth quarter drive. He made 2 breakups, including the 4th down play. It was Witherspoon that did it. So, guys can come back and make plays. Think about this: if the Seahawks had been thinking about it, they could have drafted both Njigba and Puka Nakua. Imagine that. I mean, Rams didn't have a first-round pick that year, so they couldn't get Njigba, but wow. I mean, they're both fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, both players. I mean, they're fantastic. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it was an awesome game. Even the quarterbacks, no mess ups. Matthew Stafford 374, Sam Darnold 346, both 3 touchdowns. So I mean, it shows how much they wanted it, and the other team came out on top, the Seahawks. So congratulations. I'll be rooting for them in a championship because, of course, I don't think anybody wants to see the Patriots win another Super Bowl after the Tom Brady era. So that goes to show. But some of the questions were Matthew Stafford's going to retire. I mean, he's 37, and he's coming off pretty much an MVP year. And mind you, the biggest flaw of the Rams team was, I mean, you could say online, but their defensive backs. I mean, they need some DB help. So I don't know what their cap is. I think they're not under the cap at all. But they have 2 first-round picks this year. I think that pick 15.
They are actually $43 million under the cap next year, and Matt Stafford has
The Rams are under 43 million.
Yeah, and Matthew Stafford looks to be being paid about $20 million in cash next year if he comes back. Good. So I don't think he's retiring. I don't think he should. I mean, here's the thing. You think about running, scrambling quarterbacks, and I love my guy Russ, how great he was, but right now Matthew Stafford is more mobile than he is. He's more mobile than a lot of the guys. He runs really well. I don't see any reason for Stafford to retire at 37.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to Stafford at the end of the day, and I highly doubt he's going to do that, especially where he just went to this season. And like I said, they have cap. They could try to find some defensive players, some offensive linemen, or some extra receivers, but they have 2 first-round picks this year. Well, they're going to have a low late first round, pick 28, 29, somewhere around there. And then
they're in a lot better shape than the Broncos, aren't they, Mike? Who's the highest paid player on the Broncos?
Russell Wilson. Yeah, maybe out of football this year.
Yeah, hey, good point.
Yeah,
but and they got the 15th or 14th top first half from the Falcons.
Right.
So
they can. That's the thing is they can. There's no reason for them to.
They can beef up next year. They could be better. I mean, on paper than what they are this year. So
yeah, they ended up 14-6 this year after it was all over. They played better than that at times. Two of their losses were razors, and a couple of their wins were too. But I mean, 43 million in cap. That's enough space to give an extension or to Matthew Stafford and pay him more. So, that if they want, because he's making 16 million in base salary, and he has non-prorated bonuses of 4.8 million, so about 20 million. So does he have any years left? Yeah, he's got another year left on his deal, but it's a void year. So, I mean, they can restructure him and give him a raise, and like you say, draft some guys, and be back in this next year. So
I want to
Yeah.
talk.
So go ahead.
You first.
No. I was just gonna say, next year. I mean, they could come back better than what they are. So, and just watch out. So.
Absolutely. What I wanted to say is I want to get a couple of thoughts. I got a couple of questions for you guys, Mike and Jim especially. 2 quick points. Number one, the difference with the Seahawks only having one of their two-headed running backs, and 2, Sam freaking Darnold. I mean, out of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield in that draft, Sam Darnold is the only one to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So, Mike, to you first, your running back situation specifically, and then Sam Darnold.
Well, George Holani was the replacement, and the thing is, they ran the Charbonnet package with Holani, and George Holani's a good player. He's not as good as Zach Charbonnet, but he's a good player. But there were a couple times they threw the ball to him, and he didn't
know where he was.
And he didn't know where he was on that one play. And it's like, why don't you just give those carries and those touches to Ken Walker instead? Because what did Ken Walker have? He only had about 19 touches, 19 carries.
3 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, I would just give 100% of that to Ken Walker because he's the talent that you got there. Holani's a good back, but he's not as good as Charbonnet. So,
and by the way, Walker had 4 receptions for 49 yards also.
Yeah, and he could have, those passes that you gave to Holani, you could have given to Walker instead, which is what I would have done. I just go with Walker in the Super Bowl just 100% of the time, unless he needs to be out because he's gassed. So it's a problem. We're not as effective as we're going to be, but we scored 31 points against a really good defense, so you can't take that away from us.
Let's pause there and get to Sam Darnold in a second. Jim, what did you think of the running back situation and how that portends for you moving forward?
I thought I texted Mike during the game. I thought Kenneth Walker should have gotten the game ball. I mean, especially in the first half. I thought he carried the offense in that game, and especially with Charbonnet being out, he was just fantastic. And Najigba, the second half, I think Najigba, was the better offensive player, as far as the Seahawks. But Kenneth Walker, I mean, he was destroying.
They couldn't take him down.
Rams defensive line. I mean,
yeah, and it's funny because Walker still leaves so many yards on the field. He makes the wrong cut like at least 50% of the time, where he could got more yards if he just goes straight. But he's still productive, and he makes the big first downs and stuff. That fourth quarter, I think, what was it, a catch? And he jukes a couple of guys, and he's got 2 or 3 guys around him. Should have had him for a 2-yard gain or even a loss, and he turns it into a 9 or 10-yard gain for a first down. Critical in using up the clock. So fantastic talent.
Yeah, I was gonna say on TikTok or social media, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the young Seahawks fans, they really don't like Zach Charbonnet because, or even fantasy, because they say that he takes away a lot of Ken Walker's carries, and he doesn't do a lot with him.
Kenneth Walker in my dynasty league, it kills me. Just get a cow back, and now he gets a bell cow.
After Charbonnet got injured, a lot of fans are happy because they were like, now Ken Walker gets a full load, and we can see what he does. And even the game before, he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it shows that maybe give the ball to your playmaker more. So
yeah, he didn't get more touches. He got the same number, and that's what I'm saying. They need to change the game plan to make sure he gets more touches in the Super Bowl because he's the better back. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
They stuck with their package thing, and it's like, no. Give it.
Mike said package.
Pull up the clip.
Speaking of packages, how much do you want to bet that Clint Kubiak is the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? Did you hear Tom Brady gushing all over him like he was a fluffer? I mean, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's another great call by Clint Kubiak," and I mean, he said that about 5 or 6 times. I'm like, Clint's going.
Speaking of Brady, did you see who the Bills hired as their head coach?
Okay, hold on. We'll get to the coaches in a second. We got to focus.
All right, Brian. All right.
What is it called when? What does your generation call it when Tom Brady's drooling over Kubiak?
Oh man, we were talking about it the whole game. Kubiak, Jackson Smith, anybody. It's like Tom Brady will go and def on the person, and we're like, all right, Brady, like call it glazing. Like he's glazing the players out there. He's just going in on them. Like, all right, we get it. The player's good, and he just keeps going on how spectacular one guy is. How he brushes his hair in the morning. I don't know. It's funny.
Home stuff coming
if the
from.
Seahawks call up about Max Crosby. If the Seahawks call the Raiders about Max Crosby, which they're going to, the first name out of the Raiders' mouth is going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba, and we're going to say no. So that's what's going to happen, though. That's what's going to happen.
By the way, at the bottom of the screen here, we did look this up. Thank you, Jamie, for pulling this one up. Several quarterbacks started Super Bowls in their second NFL year. The winners were Kurt Warner, 99, great Super Bowl, Brady in 01, and Ben Roethlisberger, 05, and Russell Wilson in 2013. Losers were Marino in 84, Colin Kaepernick in 12, Joe Burrow in 21, Purdy in 23, May in 25.
May in 25. That hasn't been established yet, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I love that they put it there. Thank you, Grok. They're assuming it's going to happen. Okay, so we handled the Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker III conversation. Mike, Sam Darnold. Holy shit, what a reclamation project. We didn't know what he was on the Vikings. He got a lot of grief in that playoff, or toward the end of the season, they had that big loss, got knocked out, and they said, oh, he's a bum. I said, no, it was the offensive line. It wasn't Darnold. Look what he did. He only took you to the Super Bowl. So
he played great, but you see Stafford throw the ball, and his velocity is perfect. His touch is perfect. His confidence is there. I got to be honest with Sam Darnold. He still looks a little bit to me like he's aiming the ball a little bit too much. I mean, and that's a sign of
not putting it
caution of caution. So. I mean, the problem is, of course, is when Sam has let loose before, things haven't gone all that well. So I like playing under control. He's an elite, talented game manager almost. So the arm. I mean, there were throws he made that were not the best throws. He threw him put a little too much air under him. Didn't put enough air under him. There's throws you can complain about, but you can't complain about the results. And all we need is one more really good, solid game like that out of him, and I think we'll be holding the trophy. So that's what we got to hope for. So
all right, Jim, we're getting a couple questions. Kind of saying, nice the puppy. What's the puppy's name? Puppy was up and puppy's gone. What was the puppy's name?
Well, she's not a puppy anymore. She's a year and a half. That's Lucy.
She's a dynamo.
Dynamo Lucy. There's the puppy dog. Every time I do my shows, Mr. Bean or Nimbus will jump up right in so it's a regular occurrence. Jim, what about Sam Darnold? I mean, that was a major decision. It wasn't so much a big move getting rid of Geno. It seemed pretty obvious that was going to happen. But picking Sam Darnold and paying him some legitimate money, it really paid off by the GM, and he's got you in a Super Bowl. What do you think of Sam?
Yeah, I don't think they paid Sam a lot of money. I think he's pretty much on a team-friendly deal, isn't he, Mike?
Yeah, I think his salary's about $27 million this year, which is actually not that much. But if he wins the Super Bowl, he's gonna have some leverage to resubmit. Yeah, he's actually his cap number's $34 million this year. Goes up to $45 million next year, and then it's only $12 million in 2028. So I suspect there'll be a new deal in the offseason for him.
I think he's. I mean, after getting beat down playing for the Jets, and then going to Carolina and being mediocre at best, and he actually was with the backup when Santa Clara went to the Super Bowl. He was on that San Francisco.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's.
Right.
He's been to the Super Bowl, but
Wait, Darnold was also on the Panthers.
oh yeah, he went to the Panthers after the Jets.
Oh boy,
You
yeah.
know, and then he went to the Vikings, and the Vikings, you know, they didn't know what they had, obviously. You know, I think he won what 14 games that year, Mike.
14-3 for them, or 14-4. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a Marty Schottenheimer thing, you know. You know, Marty Schottenheimer wins 14 games and loses the first round of the playoffs, and he's gone. You know, San Diego ejects him. You know, and you know they go from Darnold to JJ McCarthy. I mean, open me a can of slack. I mean, you know, at this point, you know, I know hindsight's 2020, but who are you going to have right now? Are you going to have McCarthy or Darnold?
Exactly.
You know, Vikings are kicking themselves in the ass. You know, we should have kept Darnold. You know,
Yeah, you know, I mean, I wasn't
he's
jumping
a
up and
quiet
down.
guy. You know, he's not a look at me guy. He's not a me guy.
Yeah.
You know,
I
he's a
wasn't.
football player.
I wasn't jumping up and down when they signed Darnold, but I thought he was by far the best quarterback out there. Of the choices the Seahawks had, I was glad they moved on from Geno because that was never going to work. But if you're the Vikings and you look at that, you gotta, you know, he had zero chance in those games because the OL was so bad. I couldn't believe that they were putting all their, you know, all their eggs in one basket, rolling with it with J.J. McCarthy, a guy, you know, who missed the entire season and wasn't exactly spectacular in college. It was stupid because the Vikings had talent. They have talent. They could have been in these games, you know.
Another interesting stat. First USC quarterback to start in a Super Bowl.
Oh my! In
Sam
history.
Darnold.
Wow, that's
Yeah. Don't shake your head. Yeah.
that is crazy. And by the way, you know the thing about Darnold being in the Super Bowl now, I totally lost my train of thought. Izzy, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, I
had
was
a brilliant thought, but I totally lost it.
yeah, I mean, I was surprised that the Seahawks got him with the contract they got him, and I mean, it was a pretty good contract that they paid him. I mean, very friendly for the team, but I really don't understand why the Vikings got rid of him. I don't understand why.
The
I
point I
mean,
was going to make.
you said what?
Keep going, Izzy. Did you have more?
Yeah. And I said, why? Well, I don't understand why the Vikings got rid of him. I mean, he took him to the playoffs. I mean, you can say that he himself did mess up a little bit in the playoffs. Respectively, his O-line was pretty bad, but you saw where he took him, build around him maybe a little bit, and don't give out to a quarterback who was in a run-heavy offense in college and who tore his leg off the season after. It just made no sense to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, match made in heaven, jackpot for the Seahawks. It couldn't get any better than that.
I was going to add that J.J. McCarthy, I remember my point, that J.J. McCarthy, yeah, he was okay in college. They got a air quote national championship, but it's kind of easy to throw the ball when you're stealing the other team's plays and you know what they're doing. You know, it's not so easy to win.
I thought he was way overdrafted because I didn't think he'd shown anything in the passing game in college. And then to throw everything in on him, I thought they were going to bring Darnold back and give him one more shot and hope they didn't get so many injuries. But they didn't, and it's like you see what happened. The Vikings are
Well, a lot of that also they believed a lot of Jim Harbaugh's hype. I mean, Harbaugh really propped him up on a pedestal. You know, saying that you know he should go number one. You know, and he's a team player. He's the best quarterback. You know, and a lot of people you know buy into what the Harbaughs will say. You know, and Jim Harbaugh, you know, he's probably the polar opposite of his bigger brother, but. You know, Jim Harbaugh is a rah guy, you know, and if you work for Jim Harbaugh, you know, you walk on water if you're a halfway decent player. I mean, Harbaugh won't say anything bad about you.
You know, that brings up an interesting story too. I was reading on Twitter X that the Rams were telling everybody last year that Cooper Kupp was done and nobody should pay him more than the minimum, and they were trashing him. and apparently they were snickering and laughing when the Seahawks paid him way more than the minimum. And he burned them on a critical third down, fourth down play in that game. Burned them a couple times. So that's really interesting. I didn't know that, but that's what I heard. So
Let me add a little bit of this. Sam Darnold currently on a 3-year, $100.5 million contract with the Seahawks. Marion was just kind of laughing. Yeah, not a lot of money. Okay, I'll take a tenth of that income. Yeah, exactly. I know. But it also, Baker signed a 1-year prove-it contract, $3 or $4 million for 1 year. Then he got a 3-year, $100 million contract. So it's like, all right, you got something here. We can build around this. If we add to the defense, add to the weapons, add on special, like we can win. We can be playoff teams, and once you get there, you never know. Blake,
Brian, he probably got a better deal with the Seahawks. Also, if you look at the big picture, Washington, no state income tax.
yeah, that's another advantage.
Yeah, that's a huge bump in pay.
Well, we were talking about the Harbaughs and the J.J. McCarthy's. Just to point out, I did draft Blake Corum, the running back. He had a very good game for the Los Angeles Rams with Kyron Williams there, but they fall short, and they're going to retool and bring Stafford back, is he?
Yeah, one more thing about the Harbaugh thing. Yeah, you could take whatever you want from John Harbaugh or the head coach from Michigan, but if you watch the games, all J.J. McCarthy did was hand the ball off to his 2 running backs to go to a national championship. So, I mean, if you have your own 2 eyes, you can make your own personal analysis of how good a quarterback he is.
And make
I'll
basic
just live that
throws.
day. Exactly. Yeah. 5, 10-yard throws that are meant to be open because awful play action. I mean, you're expecting him to run the ball half the time. So, I mean, it's whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Do we have any more thoughts on Seahawks Rams, folks? Raise your hand. Speak now or forever hold your Reese's Pieces. Okay. We will set that aside. Now, let me pull up I won't pull it up, but I'll just tell you. The offseason has seen the following happen. The Bills move on after Sean McDermott after 9 seasons. John Harbaugh's 18 seasons with the Ravens. He's gone. Pete Carroll with the Raiders. One and done. Mike McDaniel's out with the Dolphins. Raheem Morris out for the Falcons. Jonathan Gannon out for the Cardinals. Brian Callahan has been gone from the Titans mid-season. Matt Eberflus? Wait, what? Hold on. Huh? Okay, so Atlanta Falcons have hired Kevin Stefanski, the former Browns head coach. New York Giants.
I'm sharing a screen where we can go through the hires if you want.
Oh, you have it pulled out? I can do that. Yeah, I pulled it up on Grok, but let's get a graphic.
Yeah, so
zoom a little. There we go. Okay.
Steelers Mike McCarthy.
Let's ask Izzy about Mike McCarthy first, because you got some Cowboy history with Mike McCarthy. Any thoughts on Mikey boy going to?
When he was head coach when we made the playoffs, we're blowing out teams left and right by like 30, 40 points all year.
Yeah.
Respect to Dan Quinn, but Mike McCarthy's a twin head coach of what's his name? Who was the head coach? I'm blanking out right now. Mike Tomlin. It's the same thing. You might win an extra game. That's about it. You're 2 old head. I'll put it. That's what we call old head coaches. You won't get a lot from pretty much the same thing. That's about it.
Well, Tomlin's a defensive coach and McCarthy's an offensive coach. So
yeah, but don't win the same amount of games.
Have one Super Bowl. McCarthy's got one with the Packers, and you probably won't expect Rodgers to be in Pittsburgh next year.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think that they hired McCarthy to try to get Rodgers to come back next year? That's what I'd like to know. What do you think about that?
I don't think they separated on that very amicably. When
whoa,
what are you doing, Brian?
I don't know.
Max
What?
Wow.
Mike, what are you doing?
That was.
Oh, God. Keep going. I'll just try to.
But yeah, so the Falcons fired Raheem Morris, brought in Stefanski, I presume to work with Penix. Jesse Minter, who hired by the Ravens. Buffalo Bills, Joe Brady, who their offensive
Joe
coordinator,
Brady.
got hired. He's a Brady, but not the one you want. Jeff Hafley, who for the Dolphins. Now, to be fair, nobody knew who the fuck Sean McVay was when they hired him either. Now look at it. Giants got John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy. Titans hired Robert Saleh. I think that's the worst hire of the cycle. I don't know why he would get a second chance after just 1 year. But the Cardinals.
Is he Saleh's third chance? Was he head coach at the 49ers or a D?
Defensive coordinator.
Coordinator, and the Cardinals are apparently Mike LaFleur is now being courted by the Cardinals, who's a pretty good offensive coach.
Do they have on there that the Titans also got a Dable?
I don't think they showed that the Titans have got Dable. No.
Yeah, they just signed him to an offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Oh,
Mike McDaniel went to San Diego.
The Chargers.
the
Correct.
offensive coordinator. Yeah.
Man, I saw a video of how Mike McDaniel he's drawing up plays with the Dolphins that have never been seen before. Like they're like he's high when he's making plays or something, because some people they're like what did we just look at? So
Yeah.
I mean that's a pretty good match for Justin Herbert. I don't think he should be a head coach, but offensive coordinator should be good for him.
Yeah.
This
Michael-
is Mr. Bean, by the way, everybody. Did you ever see the bit on Saturday Night Live back in the mid-'90s when it was O.J. Simpson drawing up the diagram of what happens on the football field?
And it comes out, I did it. Yeah, that was hilarious.
I did it on the teleprompter, drawing up plays like Mike McCarthy. That's so
That
funny.
was
Anyway,
hilarious. So
all
the
right.
Cardinals, the Browns, and the Raiders are the three jobs that are left. And I just gotta say, I think the Raiders are gonna probably try to hire Kubiak from Seattle. So, and the Browns, I don't know what you're gonna do. And the Cardinals look like they're after Mike LaFleur. So there we are.
The Browns are looking at the guy for the Rams, right? What's his name?
Didn't he turn him down?
Shula, the
no.
defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I could swear it was Shula.
No, not Shula. We're looking at the other guy. But they met with him in person. I got to look it up. But they met with him in person, but left without a contract. They're saying that the Browns are trying to push to keep their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz. Want him to stay as DC, but like head coaches normally want to bring their own people. But it's like, you got a good defense. You got Myles Garrett, the best player. Just it ain't broken. That's not the biggest broken problem on the Browns. It's the offense. Just come here for the offense. We got our DC, former head coach. He's stable. It keeps the locker room organized. Just stick with it. I'll look the guy's name up while we want to maybe go through.
Let the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, so let's go through the Super Bowl and see what we got here.
Yeah, let's do this. We're going to do a show before the game, Brian.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Don't you think maybe next Thursday or something, guys? Something like that.
We could do Tuesday, or we could do closer to Sunday.
Probably
closer to Sunday.
because I'm probably going to have a little bit more to add to this.
Yeah.
So
you're saying maybe closer. What's ideal? Are you thinking?
Well, I would say let's do it Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah,
And by the way, there's zero chance on God's green earth that anybody would want to do a live stream during the Super Bowl. That'd just be awful, right?
Yeah.
Not when my team is playing. I'm gonna be glued to Jim's TV and screaming my head off. So
And eating delicious pizza that your lovely wife is making.
Lovely wife is preparing. Right.
Okay, yeah, we could do. Let's pencil in Thursday, Friday ? And we'll play it by ear. We'll text next week. And
all right.
all right. So walk us through what we got. It's a 45.5 over under.
Yeah, the game opened at 45.5. It's still 45.5, and it opened at Seahawks -4.5, like we talked about before. Like I said, I texted Mike and thought it was going to open at 6.5. So as far as I'm concerned, the 4.5 is a bargain. But if you look at the numbers here, it may not be. I don't think anything is actually a bargain in this game. Obviously, the Seahawks are favored in this game. The Patriots.
I have a bit of. My apologies. We have a bit of a delay. I was just trying to get one piece of clarification. So, number one, what number Super Bowl are we on? I started in the intro.
60. It's the
60.
Super Bowl 60.
6-0. Okay, thank you. And this is being played in Santa Clara, correct?
Santa Clara.
That's
Yep.
Outdoors.
Niners Stadium after they fled Jokeland.
Saying it's warming up out here too in California, by the
That's
way.
what I was going to ask. I mean, we can't guess two weeks from now, but
Yeah.
if we were. You're saying it's getting warm even in Northern California right now, is?
Yeah.
And right next to the power station there that's causing all the 49ers injuries. But you can laugh, but neither team is going to practice or work in this 49ers facility. They're both staying away from it.
Why?
I mean, that's smart. That's so smart.
Yeah, people are concerned that the EMF and high frequency signals from this juiced up power plant are the reason why the 49ers are the most injured team since 2010, I believe.
Yeah, and the 49ers front office, I think they were calling BS, but they just said once their offseason started, they said they're looking into it. But yeah, there's nothing like that out here, but when the Bengals played the Rams, the Bengals practice at UCLA and not the Rams facilities.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I guess modern buildings have way too much pumping through there, huh? Like the pyramids in Egypt, there's way too many power sources being thrown out into the atmosphere. Okay. Well, I just wanted to double check because as we're thinking 45 and a half, we're thinking 49ers weather. That's in outdoors.
Outdoor.
That is outdoor. Yeah. So is 45 and a half. What do we like there? I know the Seahawks can score, but can the Patriots? I don't know. Do we like the over or under? Just a gut instinct.
Well, I'll jump down if if you want that question answered. The last 7 Super Bowls, as far as the over-unders are concerned, there were 2 overs, 4 unders, and 1 hit the number as a tie. So the over-unders are 2, 4, and 1. 2 being the over, 4 being the under.
Is a tie a push, or does the house win, or what happens on a tie?
It's a push. If you have a straight bet, just betting an over/under, that's why most of these over/under Brian's are half points.
So that there's
it's
zero
a win or
chance.
lose situation. But just for argument's sake, if that number goes to 45, and you bet the over or the under on the 45, and you lay 100, and the number hits on 45. Nevada state gaming laws, they will give you your money back. So that's a push.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'm tempted to pick the over, but I just don't know if I can expect the Patriots.
Well, like I said, historically, there have been the last 7 years, there have only been 2 overs in Super Bowls.
Do you think that's because everybody like tightens up and clenches? You can't play loose? Or who knows? If you had to guess why it's trending that way, why they can't.
Well, a lot of it's going to have to do with weather. I mean, if you've got a sloppy track, and again, we're not going to talk about the weather until the next show, and we'll have a better perspective on what the weather. It's like it was in the high 30s last night here, in Vegas, and Saturday, Mike, it's supposed to be 71 degrees here Saturday.
Ooh. I got a whole week of single digits, man. It's been
warm,
Okay. Sorry, I took you way off base with this, but I just before we even got started, I was just very interested in that over under.
Yeah. Well, that's depending on the weather. That's probably going to move. If they're looking at rain during the Super Bowl, you could probably see that number go down. People will start betting the under on that game.
Okay, gotcha.
You want to talk about this now?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the number opened at 4.5. I just checked the line at Boyd Sports an hour ago, and it's still 4.5 Seahawks. The Patriots are 16-1 straight up, and 13-4 against the spread. Patriots are 9-0 straight up and 7-2 against the spread on the road. Drake May is 10-5 against the spread on the road. Mike Vrabel, the coach, is 28-14-1 against the spread as a dog of 3 or more points. And again, that goes back to when he was the coach at Tennessee. Mike Vrabel is 6-2 straight up after a week off when he has time to prepare. The underdog in the Super Bowl is 11-6 against the spread. So that's something to think about. That's almost a 2-1 margin. So the underdog being the Patriots, it's saying that the dog will cover 11 times out of 17. The Seahawks are 14-1 straight up and 12-3 against the spread on the road. So these numbers are pretty much identical as far as straight up and against the spread between these two teams.
Yeah.
Patriots having a slight advantage as far as their road record. The Seahawks are 5-0 straight up after a week off or a Thursday night game. So logically, both of these teams are going to have an extra week to prepare for this game.
Jim, just to add one thing to that, I think you should look at the conference game against the 49ers because they had an extra day to prepare. Well, they had basically a bye week. Is that included in that with the 49ers? Is that part of the 5-0?
Yeah, I think I did figure
Okay,
that
and
out.
then they had an extra day to prepare this week against the Rams. So basically, it's what's Mike McDonald's record when he has a minimum of one extra day to prepare, and I think it would be 6-0. So.
I was gonna ask one more thing too. Do you think it matters? But when the Seahawks played the 49ers at home this year, do you know the score of that game, or do you think it matters at all because it's the same stadium, or what?
Oh, the 13-3 game. Yeah, I mean the kicking concerns me. The kicker,
Okay.
Seahawks kicker, because he missed 2 field goals there. So right now the weather is expected to be partly cloudy on Sunday the 8th. Partly cloudy, not a bad day. It doesn't say much about wind expectations, but if it's swirling wind, yeah, Myers has a fragile psyche. And he could miss kicks there because he missed 2 last time. So
Okay.
you just gotta hope that there's not much wind, and then I think he'll kick better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah, if Sam Darnold, if this number goes to 6 points, which is very possible, Sam Darnold's 14-0 straight up is a favorite of 6 or more points. So that would favor the Seahawks as far as winning the game, not necessarily covering the spread. Darnold, this game again stems back to this stat stems back to when Darnold played with the AFC East. He is 0-4 straight up against the Patriots. Again, this is a kind of an innocuous number because you're going back a lot of years from
Back when Jamal Adams was on the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these numbers sometimes play in people's heads also. Favorites of 4 points or more, 103, 38-1 straight up.
Wow. Okay.
These two stats, we already talked about this first one. The last 7 Super Bowls, the over-unders are 2-4-1. This next stat is, you're probably going to call BS on it, but I researched it and it is true. In the Super Bowl since 2003, teams that had a first-round bye in the playoffs versus a team that did not have a bye are 0-10 against the spread. And they are 1-9 straight up. Now, the last team that actually won the game were the Steelers. They beat the Cardinals in 2009.
What would be the cause of that is what I would ask. What's the reasoning? What do you think that means?
It means nothing other than the fact that it's probably an aberration that this has happened, but you cannot dispute or dismiss 0-10 against the spread.
Yeah, you can't 1-9 straight up. I
And
mean,
you had a point a couple of weeks ago, Mike. Good football teams would rather play on the next week instead of sitting on their hands for 2 weeks and playing the next game. Momentum.
yeah.
You know what? That actually, sorry, I just jumped in there a little too loud. But that actually sort of played out in the past 2 years in the college football playoffs. The teams that had a bye week, a lot of them came out rusty. I think it was 0-4 last year. I think it was 2-4 this year. I'm close to having that number right, but I think 6 out of the 8 lost when you had a week off instead of keeping the momentum rolling.
This last stat is a huge number to look at, especially if you're considering betting the Seahawks in this game.
So you don't play 2 weeks out of 5. You got the wild card round, the divisional round, championship round, and the 2 weeks of the Super Bowl. So it's basically you play 3 games in 5 weeks. You're inclined to lose that last game, is what it means. I don't know.
You're sitting out 1 week
Yeah,
during
But I
the
don't know.
playoffs.
I'm trying to figure out like, why
prior
that.
to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But this doesn't include the week off prior to the Super Bowl. It includes the only teams that this would pertain to, and the reason this number is so small since 2003, it's because a lot of these teams that had the first round bye did not go to the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
they can't be included in that statistic. You're following me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is a real number. And this is a dangerous number
If you're a Seahawks fan.
if you don't look at it and consider it.
Yep.
So caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware.
I am emptored.
Are you emptored?
I am.
I thought you were reptilian or amphibious.
Yeah, I'm a lizard man. Lizard people. So, all right. Well, next week let's do our Super Bowl preview. We'll look at all that stuff again. Jim, I think we should make it we should look at those games and see what might be the prevailing reason why.
Well, I told you a couple of days ago I was just going to shoot it all, and put the rest of my bankroll on the Seahawks. But I brought this up, this stat 2 nights ago, and I'm not so sure.
Now you're thinking you're going to bet the Patriots?
No. Did I make a bet last week, Mike?
Well, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I laid off.
Yeah.
I did not bet the games. I thought that the number, if the number looks correct and you think Vegas has the number correct, you generally want to stay away from the game.
I don't know. I mean, Izzy, you got any strong feelings on just the initial lines, the initial over-unders, the initial matchup? Like, what's your gut telling you? Just way too early prediction.
If I had a house, I'd sell it. I'd put all the money on the Seahawks.
Okay.
If I had a house,
That's my guess. That's what my guess. I mean,
I'll jump in prematurely on the words of wisdom, Brian. A fool and his money are soon parted.
yes, the fool and his money are soon parted. Thank you for jumping in early on that one. I want to double check though. Did we find a winner, Mike? Do we have a winner? Is it mathematically impossible for you to lose this?
I don't know.
Real quick, just to say, I went against both of my instincts because I was such a I can't catch you guys. So I went against my instinct. I wanted to pick New England and Seattle, of course. So I just picked opposite day like Costanza. That didn't work either. So I didn't win it. Did you guys determine who won?
I am 180 and 104. Brian.
And I am 8 games back. It would have been 6 had I picked.
Yeah, Jim, what are you?
This is
I am. I did a Costanza thing.
Oh, you did it too?
Yeah, I'm 170, 178, and 106. I went ahead and I took the Rams just because we were en route to Boulder City, and Mike was in the back seat with Regina, and I kind of asked him. I said, who did you take in this game? And he said the Seahawks. So
Yeah, there was no.
I
Yeah,
changed my pick to the Rams because I would have had a chance to at least tie Mike and go.
I
into the
outlasted
Super
you.
Bowl.
I just basically took the air out of the ball and ran the clock out with a slight lead. So
So,
'cause
Mike,
you
I'd just like to do this. I'd like to speech, Mike. You won the league again, 2 in a row. Give us a speech. Go on. Congrats.
If only there was money involved. If only there was money involved. Next year, I think what I'm going to do is bet at $20 on every game straight up. Because if I pick that well for 3 years in a row, I should come out ahead.
Yeah. If only there was money involved, and it's what we talked about the first couple of minutes of the broadcast today. The Seahawks, as far as your future bet, Mike, opened at 60-1, and your normal $100 bet would have netted you
$6,000.
$6,000.
Well, congratulations on that. Yes, we got your fool and his money are soon parted. That's a great quote. Izzy, give us a final wrap up. Give us something to think about and chew on.
Yeah, what I said earlier.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bet the house. Mike, tell us about your show coming up tonight and
Yeah.
where to find you.
Toxically Masculine Tuesday. We are going to go through the pretty shooting frame by frame. We've got multiple video angles. I think we know what actually happened, and it was unnecessary from at least one perspective, I think. But we're going to go through the videos and show you what happened, and that's going to be the main emphasis tonight. We also have updates on the situation in Iran and the geopolitical situation overall, and I think we might get around to discussing my new video on Mike Bear 333 about what the Golden Dome really is and what it may not be what you think it is. It's not.
Can I get a teaser on that? Because I did send a message. You go, wait, there's a video. Give me a hint. Give me a taste.
Go to Mike Bear 333 and watch it. But what it is the reason we want these military bases in a big ring around the U.S., Alaska to Canada to Greenland to Iceland. Trump said Iceland. I think it was a mistake, but I think it was a Freudian slip that he's going to go after Iceland too to put military bases there. I believe it's all about putting these HARP devices all along the Arctic Circle to protect from a massive solar flare similar to the one that we had this week, which caused all these horrible storms. So we're going to throw that for discussion.
One thing, I don't know a lot about the topic, but it kind of sounds like BS to me because isn't there a thing with the power lines? Like, aren't they supposed to be underground or something to help us from something like that?
Yeah,
or am I mixing it up?
I was just talking about this on a podcast I did this morning. We should be burying all of our power lines.
Yeah, if that's what we're going to do, that sounds like what we should do first.
Right, but it's interesting because there are, and I discussed this in the video, there are ancient cave paintings of people who lived in caves that depict the sky on fire. And what can happen, apparently, is you can get superheated plasma, can ignite the radiation belts and or slip through the poles and basically turn the upper atmosphere into a giant air fryer and burn the shit out of the planet.
Yeah.
And it appears it's happened before because there's evidence from the moon landings that we've had flares like this.
Wasn't that the consensus for Oppenheimer? And, that's what they thought the nuclear weapon was going to do?
They were afraid of something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, all the ant people going underground maybe to avoid a microwave cooking outside.
The Anunnaki.
You see, if you go to Space Force instead of the Air Force, you would be the
on the front
resident
lines.
expert here.
Yeah.
Yes, Izzy.
Yeah. So enjoy your deployment to northern Greenland. At least if you end up in Iceland, the chicks there are hot. So it's an option.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for being here on episode 28 of season 2 of Strictly Football. We'll be back next week, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. Keep it posted. We'll give you a programming note when we get one. Go check out Mike's show tonight, Toxically Masculine Tuesday. We appreciate
We'll have more numbers.
We'll have
more numbers from Jim.
Hopefully,
next
ones that favor the Seahawks a little bit more. So.
I'm pulling for you.
We're not going to make shit up, Mike.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Two quick things. I was ready to leave, but I forgot these two. Tarot, I can't read the rest of that. Says, I made a tarot style prediction for the Super Bowl matchup. Curious how it plays out. I don't know if you get into the tarot stuff. And Corey says, Mike, the script writers for the NFL are going to have the Patriots winning by some sort.
Yeah, I think we should discuss the preseason graphic that the NFL produced of all the players, and the two guys closest to the trophy are Sam Darnold and Drake May. We'll bring that up and have a little discussion on that next week. All right,
we'll do that next week. And I did see it, and they zoom in, and they're the last two. There you go.
Yeah.
What are the mathematical odds? That'd be a good question, Jim. What would the mathematical odds be of those number of players in that graphic and having the two finalists sitting right there in the front? I don't know the odds of that, but I would find it to be highly unlikely. So we shall see. Also, maybe next week we'll talk about alternate halftime programming. I'm very interested, either the Puppy Bowl or something else interesting. We'll cover that next week. All right, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Signing out on behalf of everybody at the TNAM Network. I appreciate you. I love you, and we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody.
Peace. Peace.
bye.
Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
The New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.